What's up, y'all? All right, I think it's enough messing around with that loop. All right, take a look at what else we got here. We're gonna play one more, and then we're gonna get into making a track. So what do we got here? Whoa. Man, there's some weird sound stuff going on in this one. I don't know if that's a certain track or what. Looks like I did not finish this beat. It's looking very incomplete. It's only got these last tracks here. But yeah, I like doing that thing, that kind of like trance gate, fader gate type thing. Or I don't know if it's called fader gate. But basically when you use like the solo to kind of like cut the sound in and out, it's sort of an interesting effect, which you do by holding Option and then pressing a direction. And it'll solo everything to the left or right of that track depending on what direction you press. So right now we're just hearing the drums. And then here we're just hearing like that melodic part. Pretty interesting stuff. All right, let's go ahead and just start a new project then. And we're gonna look for a sample, see what we can find here. Got quite a few options. I don't really have a super solid plan for today's session, so we're just gonna wing it. But I do know there is this, there's a DiBiase flip challenge going on. Actually, it was due yesterday, I think, or maybe today, to be honest. Not entirely sure, but I did download the sample. So I think I'm gonna mess around with that for a little bit, see if I can come up with something cool. Okay, we gotta go to sample downloads, DiBiase, flip session. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this one is, it's by Low Key, so you know it's gonna be dope. Let's check it out. Sounds sick. All right, let's get chopping. And we've got the lazy chop. We have the power of lazy chop on the Dirtywave M8 ever since version 5.0 came out. Although now we're on 6.0, which is crazy to think. Trash 80 is just updating the heck out of this device. But yeah, so lazy chop, hold the play button, and then as you tap edit, it's going to put the slice markers down. Very easy. Kind of screwed that one up. Let's bring that back. Whereabouts? Delete that. Okay. Heyo. This is seeming pretty chill. Let me just play through these really quick. This is going to be a fun one, I could tell. But yeah, GG writes in and says, I just got an M8 last week. I've learned so much from your videos. Dude, I appreciate that, man. That is awesome to hear. And yeah, that's congratulations on getting an M8. These things are a lot of fun. What kind of music do you make on your M8? Are you like into the hip hop kind of space, or do you do more of the chiptune, electronic, house, that kind of thing? I'm curious. All right, we got to tighten up some of these slice points. Yeah, this one I think I can pull back a little bit. This one too. Dude, trip hop? That sounds trippy, but that's dope, dude. That's awesome. Nice, Jaw Gruss, another M8 newcomer. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's an interesting device for sure. If you come from any other groove box, it's probably kind of tough to start out, but once you figure out your way around, like, yeah, the chains and the phrases and that sort of thing, it's pretty intuitive. But yeah, man, appreciate you saying that as well, Jaw Gruss. Thank you. All right. I think these chops are pretty all right. We're going to overwrite this and get to work. I gotta change the tempo. It's at 120 right now, so let's kick it down a notch. Let's get into trip hop territory here. Do some like 80 something. 86 maybe, or 87. I'll do 86. Yo, Strill Life. What's up, man? Thanks for pulling up. What's cracking? All right, and then, yeah, for here, I have to change the slice mode to file 01. And now our notes at the bottom of the octave range, or however you describe it, are going to correspond to the slices, which will be really cool. Nice, man. Yeah, appreciate you stopping by. All right, so with the sample chops, we're gonna keep it very simple because I want to get a drum pattern set up here. So let me just do like 2 of these and then 2 of the F1s. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and then yeah, clone it. There we go. All right, so we are looking at so pretty vanilla, but yeah, let's get some drums in the mix here. Oh, whoops. So yeah, basically if you're still having the track selected and you start auditioning samples, it's going to cut off whatever's playing in that phrase or chain. So yeah, I definitely need to create a new track here for my snare drum so that when I audition some of these samples, it doesn't just straight up stop the loop. Dude, that's kind of weird. I was not expecting it to start looping the playback of the sample when I auditioned it. It's doing that with all of them. That's kind of strange. I feel like it hasn't done that before. Maybe it's like a version 6.0 update or something. Oh man, yeah, it's like it's not great, but I can live with it. Yeah, I upgraded to 6.0. I actually did that yesterday. So yeah, it must be a 6.0 thing. Oh, it's like really annoying actually. Because I used to just like hold the snare down as it was playing to like kind of get a feel for what was playing, but like I said, we can deal. I think this will be a good one. And, nope. I'm gonna bring it up to C4. And I'll probably pitch it down a little bit too. Nice, so yeah, what I did there was just add a little bit of an envelope here so that the snare doesn't kind of like play out all the way. A lot of the drums in my sample library are just like recorded off whatever, records and tapes and other things that I've like found sounds on, so sometimes they don't really like end naturally. So I find that using the envelope gives you like a nice sort of tail to your percussion, and it works especially well with snare drums. Oh yeah, and then GG saying, I really love the duplicate sample swing trick. Makes things feel more organic and less on the grid. yeah, man. I mean, if you stick around, I'm gonna get to that in like probably 5 or 10 minutes or something. Cause yeah, usually that's the first thing I do is I get my basic samples in, and then I just start like I go to town with the table configuration or whatever. But yeah, that's awesome that you use that. Super handy for getting off the grid with this device. All right, let's find a kick next. So this is another one that I think the envelope would really help like kind of control the sound a little bit because it has much of a, it's like a long kind of ringing out basically. And then yeah, something else I like to do on the kicks specifically is use the EQ to like really kind of isolate some of the sounds in it. So you can see I have the gain up on the low, of course, the mid is down, and then the high, I like using this high cut because it kind of like lets just enough of the high get through to like give you some sense of it when you're hearing it in context with the other sounds on the arrangement, but it does so in such a way that can be a little bit subtle if you adjust the whatever you call this, the frequency. So you can kind of nudge it around a bit to like give it a little bit of that high end, which sounds pretty good. Hey, what's up, Jamie Rice? But yeah, let's do the envelope next. All right, next up is a hi-hat. Whoops. Yeah, we're not going to say no to the first hi-hat we hear. That sounds fine. Because yeah, I could literally spend all day trying to find the right hi-hat. So we're going to use hi-hat 0192. There it is. Okay, let me, for this one, yeah, I'm going to keep this one simple too. I'm going to use the autofill shortcut, option, left, oh, whoops. I mean, shift option, option. So that like highlights the whole section. And then you hold option, you press left. And as long as you're holding option, you can keep pressing left and it'll like give you different autofill configurations. So for this one, it's doing all of them, which is a little much. Then you've got fill times 2, which is a good place to start. And then you can keep going and get other kind of wacky ones. Fill times 3, times 4, you know, 4 on the floor or whatever. But yeah, let me actually just delete all that and then do it again here. Shift option, option, hold option, press left, boom. Yeah, this is how you fly through it when you start getting the muscle memory and remembering all these crazy shortcuts. But yeah, so that's that. And then yeah, let's take a listen here. Very vanilla. So what we're gonna do is, Gigi was just talking about this, which is the micro timing table configuration. So we're gonna slap that on here and get these hi-hats really off the grid. So you hear that difference, right? So this is no micro timing adjustments at all. Oh, whoops. And then take a listen. Now it's on. Nice. So that's already sounding like a pretty chill loop. Yeah, Still Life, you're getting the workflow on the fast track demo here. Yeah, I'm really flying through it on this one. But yeah, so that's the hi-hat. And yeah, the micro timing is kind of the trickiest thing on this, but yeah, like I was talking about earlier, Gigi mentioned the micro timing configuration for the table, which is super handy. Let's do that for the kick drum next. Nice. All right, so that drum pattern sounded pretty chill. But what we're going to do is create some variations of it using this clone method. So basically we have chain 30, or phrase 30, I mean, and this has all of these kick drums on it. It's a little busy. So I'm going to have some of the kick drums show up in one of the bars or phrases, and then have some of the kick drums show up in the other bar or phrase. So to do that, we can clone it. You hold Shift, press Option, still holding Shift down, press Edit. And so what it does is it makes a copy of everything that was in the phrase. So you can see this is 31, but if we look at 30, it's the exact same thing, which is great because I want some notes from one, some from the other, but I don't want to have to dial them in individually. And I'll keep 30 as kind of a backup. I'm going to put it all the way at the bottom, just in case I need to reference it later. It's just going to be sitting down there. And then I'll clone this one more time. So we've got 31 and 32. So for 31, I think I'm not going to have this one play, this one at the end. And then on 32, I think I'll have it so that this second one doesn't play. So yeah, I've got one missing from this one and one missing from this one. So it's kind of like a, now it's a 2-bar loop instead of a 1-bar loop. Yeah, man, Gigi, I'm telling you, stick around, dude. I will teach you the ropes here. And if you have any questions too, let me know and I can go over stuff as I'm working through this beat. But yeah, so we've got this 2-bar drum pattern. Let's take a listen. Nice. The only other thing I'm going to shop around for at this point is an open hat, just to kind of give us a little bit more variety with the rhythm section. So let's try to find an open hat that fits. Kind of like this one. You got to go with the first one. Otherwise, you're going to be looking through samples forever. All right, so this one sounds pretty chill. Let me figure out where I want this thing actually. So Still Life is asking, does it not go to that last line because it's not consecutive to the other 2 bars? Yeah, it's a good question. And yeah, that is the behavior of it, is it'll only play this one if there's stuff leading up to it. It's this weird concept. I think they're called like islands or something. But yeah, the song page works the same way. Like if I had something like down here, I think there would need to be like something to connect it for it to like play. So it's just kind of a weird way to just like throw stuff on the side, I guess. But yeah, that's basically how it works, is it doesn't play it because it's not connected. It just keeps looping these 2. And then yeah, for the hi-hat, we're going to do the same thing with the kick, or same thing that we did with the kick. Clone it. We're going to put 40 at the bottom here, just so I can keep it down there in case I need to mess with it. And then 41, 42. And then yeah, basically on 42 is where I want the open hat to be. I think I want it to be on E. But Gigi's asking, do you typically use your one-shots on separate tracks? Do you ever put, let's say, hi-hat and open hat on the same track? Yeah, definitely. In fact, that's what I'm going to do here with the open hat, is I'm going to have it be on the hi-hat track, which is it's track 4, I think. Yeah. And yeah, sometimes if I'm feeling strapped for space, I'll do the same thing with the kick and the snare. I'll put them on a single track. Generally, though, I like to keep them separate. I feel like it's easier to, once you get to the arranging and kind of mixing type deal, it's good to have them separate because you can use the track volume to adjust the like levels, basically. But it all depends on, yeah, how complex your arrangement is and whether or not you have to like kind of pack things into single tracks, or if you have space to kind of open it up. I usually work with pretty simple like loops and stuff, so it's not super complex. I'll probably have like a bass track, maybe an extra layer track, an extra percussion track, and then maybe an extra synth track or something. And then at that point, I'm usually just like, yeah, maybe I need to combine stuff. Maybe I need to, yeah, try and switch things up a little bit. So yeah, sometimes I combine tracks, but not often really. Yeah, Still Life, you should mess around with open hats, man. They're pretty sick. I feel like I kind of overuse them, but yeah, it's kind of cool to just, yeah, throw them in there and see where it fits and stuff. Yeah, generally, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. When it comes to like figuring out where to put the open hat, I usually just listen to the closed hat loop and then I make like a like beatbox type sound like as it's playing, and that's where I decide where to put it. So for instance, So it doesn't always work, but yeah, I find that, yeah, if I just like vocalize it as the beat's playing, sometimes it helps me find the place to fit it. So I don't know, maybe try that on your next beat, see if it works out for you. All right, I think we're ready to come back to these sample chops. This loop's gonna drive me crazy. Let's see what kind of interesting stuff we can do here. So that's the tough thing about this device though, is that there's not really, like, you know, on MPC, you got all the pads and you can kind of tap out something interesting with the sample chops. With this, it's like, you kind of just have to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, which is a little bit tough sometimes, especially depending on what kind of background you have. Like if you come from like a groove box that's like very tactile and has all the pads on it and stuff. So that is one aspect that's a little bit difficult to work with. There are some interesting ways to play the chops back though. So one way to do that is to use this STA start command. Where you at? There you go. And so this basically allows you to it kind of like plays the sample slice from a certain point within the slice using this FX command. So you can get very unique like interactions with these like sort of micro chops by throwing down like a bunch of these commands basically, and then adjusting the values and stuff. Nice. So yeah, GG, you might like that for trip hop because you can get like really wacky sounding interactions with the sounds. But yeah, you're asking, how am I previewing the start effect? Basically what you do is you just hold the edit button down. Yeah, if you press edit, it'll play it from that start point. Nice. But yeah, super handy when it comes to yeah, sequencing stuff using the start command, is previewing it to know where you're at in terms of the part of the slice or whatever. But yeah, I appreciate that, Fate B. Yeah, man, doing the dibby flip. I'm trying. We'll see if I can crank something out. I don't know if it's in the cards, but we'll see. And then yeah, Jogruss saying absolutely loving the start feature for the sample slicing. Dude, I'm telling you, you combine the sample slices with the start command, it's like, it's a whole nother world. I didn't mean to hit my mic there. But yeah, dude, it allows you to get like very, like, there's no way I could get chops to play like this on like an MPC. I'd have to like be very intentional about like where the slices are, and I don't even know how I would do it, to be honest with you. But with this, it's just a matter of like throwing out some numbers and like kind of seeing if you vibe with it or not, basically. I gotta come something better though. But yeah, Sidesi's asking, what time do you normally go live? I want to follow along with my M8 at some point, but I left at the office today. Dang, man. No, it's all good. I try to go live twice a week. I took the last week off. I was sick over the weekend, still kind of getting better. But yeah, generally it's on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, because I'm on the West Coast in the United States of America. And so yeah, Tuesdays at 5 p.m. And then Saturdays, usually around like 11:30 or noon is when I'll go live on Saturdays. So yeah, twice a week is what I generally try to do. But yeah, That's kind of been my jam for a little bit. And yeah, I've got a ton of like previous streams and stuff you could totally check out as well. But yeah, it's always fun to be here, you know, with me to get to ask me questions and stuff. So I appreciate you asking and saying what's up. But yeah, and then Strill Live is asking, or saying I'm the next Tatro, dude. That's what's up, bro. And then Jogrus from Bangkok, dude. We've got like a sick crowd in the mix here. That's what's up. And yeah, Fate B, then pre-order, it's going live soon. I feel like it's next week maybe that they're gonna start accepting orders. Can't remember exactly. I got an email about it, but it's like I already have one, so I don't need another one. But yeah, definitely get on that pre-order, man, because these things are a lot of fun, dude. Lots of fun. Dang, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something with this. But yeah, Gigi's asking, what's your go-to bass synth? Dude, I am such a basic, you know what, when it comes to this stuff. You're gonna laugh at me when I say this, but it's pretty much just the macro synth, triple sine, dude. Listen to this beefy freaking sine, dude. Or here, let me like put it on a track or whatever. Take a listen to this, boy. How could you say no to that, dude? That is just so nice. But how about you, Gigi? What do you normally use for bass synths on the M8? Dude, I'm telling you, man, this thing is fat. You know what I like doing? I like recording it into my P6, Roland P6 at the lower sample rate, and just getting this like really gritty, nasty, like freaking lo-fi bass sound. It's super sick. Ooh, Obi 6-pack, dude. Nice. That's what's up. And then Strill Life saying, are those tariffs going to jack the price up? Dude, I don't know. I know that this pre-order, I think Trash 80 said it's not affected by the tariffs because he had a lot of the parts sourced or something, but I'm sure, yeah, the future ones will probably be a little bit more expensive. And this thing's already like, yeah, $650 or something, so might be, hopefully it's not 1,500, but it'll probably be more expensive than 650 for sure. Oh, whoops, forgot to take this bass off. All right, I gotta figure out these sample chops and then we're gonna get back to the bass. Oh yeah, and then here's the other crazy thing about this start command method. So this whole time I have these start commands that are micro chopping this slice, D1. Dude, I could just change the note and it's gonna do something totally different. Yeah, so super wacky stuff. You can get some very interesting, and yeah, there's so many other commands that you could use to change the sound. Like you could play stuff in reverse and like do all other kinds of crazy stuff, as long as you're down to get in the weeds when it comes to the sequencer. There's even more stuff to do with the table, which I have not even wrapped my head around mostly. I mostly just use the table for the micro timing thing. But yeah, Jogress saying paid 300 extra to have mine sent from the States. Dang, man, that's a lot extra, but you'll have fun for sure. This thing's tight. But yeah, Strill Life saying, I think this thing caught my eye before sample track. Got a little too expensive. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting one for sure. It's a little it's unique, I would say. So definitely something that can be intimidating if you're looking at it and not really familiar with how it works, but there's a lot of cool like knowledge bases out there. Some YouTube videos, the Discord is mostly where information about M8 lives, which is kind of can be a little challenging to find stuff on the Discord, like answers to questions. I mean, people will answer your questions, but it's not like a forum or anything that's like super organized basically. So it could be tricky. And then Gigi's asking if I'm in the Bay. No, I'm actually in Sacramento, but yeah, basically it's in California. So the Bay is near me, and definitely one of my influences for sure. Oh, dude, that's what's up. Oakland's in the house, dude. Yeah, I thought this one was coming in a little too late, so I was trying to nudge it around, but I don't know. Sounds pretty interesting though. But yeah, Fate B saying you help me comprehend the tracker workflow from a sample-based perspective. Dude, heck yeah. Yeah, this thing is it's no slouch. It's got sampling capabilities out the wazoo. So pretty capable device for sure. And yeah, very portable as well, which is fun. Oh yeah, I got another interesting tip for you. For those of you M8ers, something I figured out recently, which is probably very common knowledge to M8 experts, is that if you select or have something highlighted, right? So I've got just this phrase selected, and then if I hold shift and press play, it'll basically loop just this selection. So it'll keep playing this selection over and over again. So this is an entire bar, but I could just loop this part. And so this is cool because you can kind of adjust certain values or add other commands. Oh yeah, catch you later, GG. Thanks for tuning in, man. So yeah, basically it allowed me to kind of like fine tune this reverse playback delay command for this section without needing the entire phrase to keep looping over and over again. I could just loop that smaller segment so that it was easier for me to kind of figure out what value worked well there. Yeah, Jogress is asking, are you extremely knowledgeable with all of the commands? So many. No, there's definitely some that I use quite frequently, like the one for cloning, the kind of copy and paste, like when you do the selection, stuff like that. I actually do have, it like came with a little booklet that has all the commands, but I don't really reference it too much. Usually I either do stuff manually or I just use the few commands that I do know. Yeah, normally I stick to a certain set of group of commands. Mostly, yeah, like cloning is like a huge one, so remembering how to do that, which is Shift, Option, Edit. Yeah, I just created that, whatever. And that one's important. And then yeah, copy and paste. So knowing that when you select things, Option is going to copy, and then doing Shift and Edit is going to paste it. That's another one that's like really important that you'll probably use quite a bit just to like kind of copy stuff around. And that works like on most pages. Like the copy command, you could copy instruments, Shift copy, and then Shift paste. So I copied this hi-hat instrument. So yeah, Shift Option and Shift Edit is like copy and paste. Oh, the effects section. Oops. Yeah, for the effects section, here, let me just delete this. Yeah, there's quite a bit. I mostly just use a small group as well. So yeah, for this one, generally I use like, yeah, for micro timing, I use delay and the table hop because of the table configuration that I use. Other than that though, oh, you know what? There are a bunch of weird ones with the slices. Yeah, so for slices, I definitely use the start command quite a bit. The play command is cool too because it allows you to do like a reverse, like you can hear this. Yeah, so play 01 is cool because it, yeah, basically just ping pongs the sample at whatever point you put the effect at. So it's good for just getting like kind of interesting, yeah, different sound to it. Other than that, though, I feel like I don't really use too many others. There's like, dude, there's so many freaking commands, like all this stuff. I never use like most of these, to be honest with you. Yeah, maybe I'm missing out. Yeah, there's stuff that controls the filter, stuff that controls like, dude, I don't even know what a tick. You can change the tick or something. But yeah, so definitely a lot of options, but I usually just use like a couple FX commands for the most part. Yep. Oh, I forgot. Still Life asked a question too. So yeah, I guess there's no MIDI input since you have to program everything. Yeah, the MIDI input is weird. There is a way to record MIDI notes that you input. There's a MIDI import here or here maybe. I haven't ever tried it before, but the way that the sequencer is, where it's like very much like step oriented, it's not going to give you the same results as if you were like recording on like an MPC or most groove boxes really. What this is going to do is it's going to like, I think just snap it to the nearest note. So it's going to be like having quantize on by default. And I don't know how it handles like note off if you were holding it and then let go. Yeah, I think really the way the device is designed is that you're mostly just working within this. They have done some integration with like the Launchpad Pro or Plus or something. I forget what it's called. It's LPP3. And I think that does have some interesting ways to record MIDI in. But yeah, for the most part, I find that it's mostly just a matter of using the sequencer that's built in to like get MIDI onto it just by dialing stuff in manually. Okay. Sounds like D4 is maybe the root note. I don't really know, but it doesn't sound like it clashes too much when I play it. So I'll probably throw some D4s down. I got to figure out where I want these. And I was talking about this technique earlier where you just do a vocalization. Like I was talking about it in context with the open hat. But yeah, you can do the same thing with the bass. You can kind of just let the loop play and then maybe like kind of make bass sounds until you figure out where you want to put them. And then from there, put them in. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. So let's try that, I guess. Oh crap, I have to put the envelope on this thing too. So that's another thing, is like, it's just gonna play the note for the entire whatever. It's a little too much bass if you ask me. So we gotta use the envelope to make it so it's not so lingering. So I'm going to do destination volume. I got to increase the hold to like 10 probably. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm pretty content with the placement of those notes, but I do need to change some of the actual note values so that it's kind of like moving up and down and stuff. So yeah, just like with some of the other things that I've been doing, I'm just going to create some clones. So again, that's Shift Option Edit. So we've got 2 here, but I'll just start with 1 for now. Nice. All right, so I think I figured out a decent pattern there, and we can further kind of customize some of these notes by adjusting the envelope using FX commands, which is another handy way to mess around with things. So right now, basically what's controlling the bass being like open before it kind of closes is this hold command. So if I add an FX command for hold and I decrease it, I can make some of the bass notes play a little bit shorter, or I can make them play longer if I make it higher. So let's see how that sounds. Nice. So yeah, it seems like hold 8 is like a little bit shorter than what it is. Normally it's a 0A. So if you know hexadecimal, whatever that is, I think it's like 11 or 10 maybe. But yeah, so 0.8 I think was giving it just a little bit less of a length or presence. So it kind of made it a little bit unique for this note here that's on step B. But yeah, B is asking, what makes the M8 stand out as a main or utility unit? E.g. the P6 can do bitrate, lo-fi effects, step sequencing. I mean, honestly, this thing, dude, very portable. Like you can, if you're like taking a flight to anywhere USA or anywhere in the world really, you can literally just bring this thing with you and make dope beats. In fact, here, I'm gonna play this and save it. right, so I know it sounds pretty gimmicky, that it's just a portable device is the best draw for it. But take a look here. Oh, wait, one sec. Did I not save it? Load. Okay. So I flew to Chicago last week, and on the flight there, I was just working on beats. It was like a 4-hour flight or 5-hour flight or something. And I literally was just sitting there, headphones plugged in. Yeah, and so I'm not saying any of these beats are gonna like win awards or anything, but yeah, the fact that I was able to just like plug in literally anywhere and just like cook up some cool stuff. And yeah, this thing also has a SD card. You can see here. So it's like super easy to take your sample library, your existing sample library, the stuff that you like, the sounds you enjoy, plug them in on here, and yeah, just get busy anywhere. So yeah, portability is a huge plus for this thing for sure. And then as far as like other kind of draws for it, it does have a very capable step sequencer. You kind of lose the ability to tap things out and kind of play things in like in your normal groovebox sort of way. But I mean, if you're fast on a step sequencer, it can get the job done the same way. I mean, we got these drums swinging. I mean, they're not that swinging, but still. I've got like the boom bap pattern where it's got the ghost kicks and stuff. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of utility there in terms of it having a sequencer that you can create pretty sick stuff on. So those are the draws, I think. Is just, yeah, super portability, quick step sequencer once you get your sort of reps in and practice with it. And yeah, basically it has the same kind of on par capabilities as what you'd expect from other kind of flagship groove boxes. You got modulation and, you know, pitching stuff and doing all kinds of interesting things to the sound. So yeah, man, I think that's the big thing for me. Put it in my pocket, basically. All right, let's see what else we can put on here. I kind of vibe with that horn though. I'm telling you, Marlo digs. My man hooks it up. This guy releases sample packs. You got to be on his Patreon, which is not too expensive. Can't remember how much I pay for it. Maybe like $6 a month or $8 or something. But yeah, he hooks it up with sample packs every month, and that's where this horn came from. All right, so let me get this thing dialed in here. Whoa. Gotta figure out where I want it to trigger though. And so you'll notice that the horn is kind of like fading out at this point when it loops. So I think what I'm going to do is use like a reverse command to kind of like bring it back. We'll see how this works out. So yeah, PLY 01. See how this works. I think I'm pretty chill with that. I was trying to figure out how to maybe like duck the volume a little bit so that it gives the note when it plays here a little bit more transient, I guess, or kind of a more strong start. It's not bad. And then there's a way we can vary this a little bit too, which I got to figure out, I think, which it might involve using the start command. So let's see if I can figure this out. That sounded kind of interesting. All right, so this is where I'm going to use the VOL command to kind of taper it off. VOL, where you at? VOL, ¿dónde está? There it is. All right, and what this is going to do is it's basically going to make the horn sample be quieter over a couple steps, basically. It's kind of annoying because I have to play it from this step or this phrase for it to play through because this is where the note is. All right, so this is where I'm thinking the start command can go. Let me just put it down here. STA, where you at? Oh, there it is. Okay. Dude, thanks, Jogress and Fate B. Appreciate it. Yeah, this horn is sounding pretty chill. Let's see what other layers we can add, though. But you are now aboard the Starship Enterprise. They're out there among us. Yeah, these FX that Marlo Diggs puts in these sample packs, they're pretty sick, man. It's like him on his Moog, whatever. Just twisting knobs and stuff. But yeah, this one will work well, and it's super long too, so I could probably just have like a very long phrase that just plays it once every like, whatever, 8 bars maybe or something. Let's see. See what else we got. Bro, this bass guitar sound, holy crap, dude. Let me throw this in the bass track. All right. whoops. Okay, so yeah, I was kind of looking for some sort of percussion to add, just to jazz up the drums a little bit. I think this cymbal will work. Nice, and we're going to slice it up using the STA command method. So I'm not even going to go into slice mode, I'm just literally going to kind of chop it up here by using STA, and then trigger the playback at certain points. And so what I'm doing is I'm previewing the STA and then moving it until I find kind of one of the ride hits, basically. And I can use this like micro timing essentially because I can pull it back a little bit and it'll start playing from a little bit earlier in the sample, so it'll bring the ride in a little bit later. I have to throw some kill commands in here though, so it's not like kind of double triggering. Although these reverse commands are actually playing out a little bit better, because the kill command, basically it was like stopping the audio, but the whole point of the ride is that it kind of rings out a little bit. But with the play 01 reverse command, basically it kind of sets a ping pong loop for it, so it kind of sustains through. Nice. All right. So I don't know where else to take it really. I feel like normally people would build like a B section and do all kinds of arranging and stuff, but this is kind of where I end up with most of my beats. It's just sort of like a loop that has a lot of layers on it, and then I can kind of pull some of the layers in and out using the solo commands. I guess that's what I could do, is I could kind of build it out a little bit more. So I'll show you how the song structure works on this thing. It's a little bit interesting. But yeah, the first thing I need to do is make sure that each of these chains have the same number of phrases. So I want them all to have 4 or 8, depending on how long it is. So let's do that first. It's got 4. It's got 4. This one only has 2. Now it's got 4. 4. 4. This one's kind of weird. So this is that super long FX sound. Yeah, for this one, I might just split it up, to be honest with you, so that it's a 4, and then, yeah, so this first one is 4, and then, or actually that's the second one, and then this first one will be 4 as well. Did I do that right? No, this has to be 71. Okay, so that'll work. Oh dang, although it says it's empty. So let me, I guess I have to like put a note in here or something. I think that might screw me over. Let's see though. Okay, yeah, that's fine. For some reason I was thinking if they were empty it would like kind of mess up the playback or something, but it didn't do that. Okay, and then this one needs to have 4 as well. 2, 3, 4, yep. Okay, so now we can start arranging here by basically just putting these blocks down. And this one. So yeah, the FX sound I'm definitely going to bring in a little bit later. So we can just put this at 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Gosh, yeah, this is like kind of tedious. Okay, so what else do we want to bring in later? I guess it should start with maybe just the loop and no drums. Hey, seems like I kind of got something interesting there. So yeah, Jogress asks, could you just make the other chains 8 to match? You totally could do that. I feel like the way my mind works on this thing is usually it's 4-bar loops is what I associate these chains with. So I'm more familiar with doing it with 4, which is why I split it up. But yeah, you totally could do just 8 on all of them, and then it would go through it kind of at a different tempo, basically. But having it be 4 bars is good because it allows me to like bring things in at a little bit more of a frequent interval than say if it was like 8 bars, if I had to wait 8 bars to bring in like the drums or whatever. Hmm. All right, so that's kind of like the basic structure of the song, I guess. And this would be interesting to kind of play back some of the mutes and solos with by being able to just like, yeah, bring stuff in and out. So for instance, but you can see kind of the natural progression here is it starts with no drums, then the drums come in, then the horn comes in, then the horn and that FX sound, and then the FX sound plays one more time, and then everything kind of goes away in the last bar or whatever. And yeah, so since each of these are 4 bars, we could even count it out too. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. So yeah, 32 bars is kind of like, I don't know how long that is in minutes, but it's sort of a basic structure. I could build like maybe a more of a hip-hop-y type 16 bar verse and 8 bar, you know, whatever. But yeah, I feel like for this one, it's kind of just like it's just the way it goes really. Got it just set up in a sort of loop almost with things coming in and out. All right, enough yammering. I'm gonna save this and let's do another one from scratch. So that was pretty fun. What else we got here? Let's see. What does J Immaculate have in his bag of tricks? So we used the DiBiase flip sample. That was a fun one. Let me check this Marlowe Diggs folder because there's a lot of cool stuff in there. He puts in like a lot of just kind of tooling around on the keyboard type, you know, Rhodes and all that sort of thing. And there's some pretty sick sounds in there. So let me see what else we got. Okay, drum loops acoustic, Rhodes. Dude, these are probably gonna sound tight. Dude, I kind of dig this one. I think this will be easy to work with because it's like pretty simple. Oh, bro, we're at 120 BPMs. Come on, get out of here with that. Do 88, see what's up. Yeah, pretty simple. Let me get some drums in here so I can like actually arrange something interesting. Kind of a beefy snare, but we'll see if we can get it working. That one's pretty chill. Andrew Lewis writes in and says, Blood playing the Android. I'm making it sing. You know what I'm saying? Although the Android does have a lot of interesting devices or apps on it that you can make music on, Koala Sampler, etc. But yeah, this thing is definitely it's definitely a piece of technology for sure. Dang, is that snare a flam? It almost sounds like 2 snare hits. Let me take a look at the waveform here. It might be. I don't know if I'm in a good position to fix it though. I think we're just gonna embrace the flam. Hi-hat is next. Alright, so normally I would use the quick fill shortcut and just add it every other hi-hat, but I want to be more intentional. I've mentioned this before, in terms of putting the hats specifically where I want them. So like right here and right here, I guess. Let's start with that. All right, let's get some micro timing in the mix here via our usual method, which is my table or not mine, but the table configuration that I use. All right, got a chill little pattern there, so we're gonna clone that a couple times. Once more. Kind of an interesting little shuffle there with this hat that I accidentally placed on step 5. Happy accidents, they do happen. All right, so I think we can get this road sample a little more groovy. So let me try doing some start command stuff here to kind of tool around with it. Doesn't quite sound right when I pitch it down. I might actually be able to use that somewhere else. So let me just save that down here. Oh, whoa. Whoops. All right. I think we're ready to hit it with some bass. So let's find some nice low end sounds. Kind of vibe with that. Yo, TNS or TNS N5. Tins, I don't know how to pronounce that, but what's up, man? How's it going? Welcome. Welcome to the games. Oh, it was looping. I was trying to figure out why it was like playing over and over again. I'm gonna have to mess with the envelope. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. When you say you guys doing a collaboration, who are you talking about? Me and whom? Oh, the other photo. Oh, you mean my profile picture? Because yeah, we are one and the same. I am the J Immaculate, the one and only. Oh, I see what you mean. All right, I see what you're doing there. All right, so I got the basic riff here, but we're gonna sort of switch it up over a couple different bars. Yeah, during that last bar, it definitely needs to go down. And then I don't know if this is supposed to go down here. Let me try this again. Might have just hit the nail on the head there. Let's hear it one more time. Oh, whoops. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. Oh, you're messing around with the propeller head Reason? That's what's up. I use Reason as well, mostly for arranging stuff. I don't really make music in it. Yeah, I mostly just use it to like track stuff out or whatever and mess with the levels. But yeah, Reason's fun, man. There's a lot of cool VSTs in there and effects and whatnot. Doesn't quite match the vibe. Yeah, we're kicking it to some mellow stuff tonight. That's for sure. I feel like this works somehow. Yeah, I feel like the filter is the key to making that sit in the mix well, but I'm going to mess around with it. But yeah, TNS N5 asked, I have a question. My son bought version 11, never used it, so he gave it to me. I want to upgrade. Not sure about the subscription, but my question is, if I upgrade to the 149 upgrade, do I get all the devices, etc.? So yeah, I was in a similar boat. I had 12, I think, and then when 13, when they announced it, because for a long time I had a subscription, but then I just did the pay for standalone or whatever. It kind of depends. When you say all devices, like there's definitely a lot of devices it comes with that you'll get. Like, man, I want to open it up right now, but I know it's going to jack up my audio. But yeah, it'll have like the sort of bread and butter type synths and that sort of thing in there. But if there's anything that you've got from the subscription, for instance, like Reason Plus, like that thing where you get access to the whole catalog of like other devices that don't normally come with Reason. So those you won't get unless you continue to pay the subscription. So you'll still have this software where you can use like, you know, whatever, the stuff that it comes with. But yeah, if you're using things that you got through Reason Plus, they won't stick around. It'll give you this message where it's like missing rack extension or something like that. So yeah, it gives you a couple things, but yeah, you don't get like all the Reason Plus type, you know, bells and whistles and that kind of thing. So if you're paying for the subscription and you rely on those kinds of sounds or they're important to you, then it might be good to just keep shelling out or whatever. Yeah, for sure. Curious what this sounds like. Super way pitched down. Let's try that. I feel like I'm very close to unlocking this pocket here, but I don't know. These start commands, I'm telling you, it's like just shooting blindly, just shooting from the hip and like hoping it sounds decent, but it's like kind of all over the place. I gotta keep messing around with this. But yeah, TNS N5, one thing I don't like with is the internet goes down, you lose your work. It's almost like you own nothing. Yeah, it's a little tricky. I actually haven't really tried using it offline, but yeah, that's kind of a bummer that you gotta be plugged in. But you know, it's the internet. It's all around you. You don't even know. But yeah, Dr. Bamboo, what's up, man? How's it going? Yo, DiBiase, what's up, man? How's it going? Nice. That's how we like our shakers. Pitch down a whole octave. You know what I'm saying? All right, so this is, dang, I'm running out of tracks though. I only have one left. Gotta figure out what I want to put on this. So you and Taki are trying to figure out of the two which is better, Polygon Tracker M8. Ooh, dude. I don't know much about the Polygon Tracker, but I can tell you that the M8's pretty sick, man. The first pro is that it fits in your pocket. You can literally take it anywhere. So it's like, yeah, it's about the size of a, well, it's bigger than a pocket operator, but it's pretty small. So yeah, portability is huge, especially for, you know, if Taki's getting down on like Koala and stuff and wants to have a portable setup, like this thing could just like literally fit right next to your phone. See the size comparison there. So yeah, size is pretty good. And then it has an SD card too. So I don't know, I feel like the Polygon Tracker probably does too. But the fact that it's got the SD storage means that you can like put your whole sample library in it, which is pretty dope. And then yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of capabilities, and you know, the sequencer is very intricate, so you can achieve very, you know, complex sequences and stuff. It is kind of tough to dial it all in though. Like you gotta really kind of learn your way around the step sequencer or whatever. Once you build the muscle memory, it's kind of like any groove box or sampler. You get pretty good at it, but yeah, man, it's got very powerful sequencing capabilities and it's very portable, and you can launch samples pretty easily with it. So those are all the pros. The only con I would say is like you really can't like play sample chops using like, you know, MPC style where you're just tapping in the pads and stuff. It's not really like, there's not an interface for that. You could use a MIDI controller with it, but it's kind of clunky. So that's kind of like the drawback, I would say. But I think the pros really outweigh it. I mean, the fact that you can put this thing in your pocket, super dope. So that's kind of my take on it. Oh, and then Jog Russ was saying, are you always using it flat on the table, or is that for the video? That's a good question. I feel like I do carry it in my hand when I'm like using it sitting around or whatever. But yeah, when I'm in the studio with it, I usually do have it laying flat because I'm faster with it when I use my index fingers. I feel like that's the big debate on the M8. It's like whether you use your thumbs to play it like a Game Boy or if you use your fingers. But for me, it's just kind of easier to like, I don't know, it's kind of like a little keyboard, basically. I sort of type on it. But yeah, laying it on the table, I think is like pretty chill for me. Oh, dude, Tracker Mini? I've seen that thing. I haven't messed around too much with it, but it looks pretty cool too. I gotta watch some videos about it or something. Because yeah, it definitely looks, it's a little bigger than this, but, or not a little, I think it's quite a bit bigger, but it's still like pretty portable. Which is pretty dope. Yo, hologram? Dude, you're getting your Lo-Fi 12 XT tomorrow? Dude, that's so sick. Welcome to the team. Yeah, if you're looking for more Lo-Fi 12 XT tips, you gotta check out DiBiase's. He's done a lot of streams where he's using it as well. And yeah, you can learn some pretty cool stuff there. But yeah, of course my videos as well can help you get started. But yeah, man, that's awesome. The Lo-Fi 12 XT is sick. It's one of my favorite groove boxes. Like really, when I'm not using this thing, I usually kind of gravitate towards it. All right, track 8. What are we doing here? Yo, that's what's up. Taki's got the XT. That's sick. bell sounds kind of interesting. I'm gonna take a look here. And DiBiase asks, you got this M8 from Musiclandria. So actually, I got my Model 1 M8 from Musiclandria. So this is a new one that I bought, like I think a year ago, maybe. But yeah, the original one, which is the Model 1, the first one that came out. Yeah, I got it at Musiclandria. It was cheap too, man. Like I didn't even know how much those things cost when I got it there. And yeah, the guy gave it to me for like 400 bucks, I think, or 450 or something. And I didn't even know they were like retailing at like 600 or 650. So yeah, man, Musiclandria, they hooked it up. And when I saw it too, I was like, what is this thing? I didn't even really know too much about it. But when I looked it up, I was like, oh, dude, this is like a very powerful device. That was back then before all the like crazy firmware updates too. Now this thing is nuts, dude. It's like super, you can lazy chop on it. You can do like all kinds of stuff. Dude, I gotta stop by there one of these days and check out what they got. Cause yeah, man, they, yeah, you just bring stuff in and then they kind of like let you take stuff of equal value. That's how it works. Nice, dude, that's so sick. Yeah, man, because I do have some stuff that I really don't use that much that is just kind of sitting around collecting dust. Like, I don't know, now that I have the Lo-Fi 12 XT, I don't really use like the older version of it, like the regular Lo-Fi 12, so I could bring that in. Yeah, man, I've got like a bunch of stuff that I could totally bring in. I'm gonna hit it up, see what they got. Oh, dude, that's so sick. Dang, man. Might go there just to get some DiBiase gear, dude. That's sick. Dang, not sure what my plan was with this bell. Let's keep shopping around. This sound is kind of wacky. Let me see if I can fit it in though. Maybe I can do something wacky with it, like modulation or something. But yeah, DiBiase saying, knowledge, been telling me to get this M8 Model 2 for a while. 7 of them. Bro, it's funny that you mentioned that because there was this like Near Tao video where he had one M8 and then he had another one. He might have had 3, I don't even know, but I just remember seeing his video where he had multiple and I was like, what the heck are you doing with that many M8s? It's like only having one is like keeps me busy. So to see people have multiple is like crazy, but that's super sick. Like you could probably like, yeah, maybe, I guess if you have multiple, it's like twice as many tracks, twice as much polyphony and like all that type of stuff. But yeah, I remember like seeing people with multiple and I was like, dang, that seems crazy and complex and I like it. But yeah, 7, dude. Yeah, man, Near Tao, he's sitting on a stash of all kinds of gear, really. I feel like his videos are like using all kinds of stuff. some delay on this? Kind of want to try modulating like the pitch or something. Oh yeah, for the Lo-Fi Wednesday. Yeah, man, I'll stop by and say what's up. I forget, when does that normally kick off? It's like is it at like 8 p.m. or something, or thereabouts? Oh, the Sunday cookups. All right. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the socials. See what's cracking. Oh yeah, 8 to 11. Yep. All right, cool. Yeah, man, I'll check it out. Dude, this freaking vocal sample just sounds so wacky. Dude, projects load up pretty immediately. Here, let me save this thing. All right, so yeah, say you want to load up a new project. So it's got this cool thing where you can kind of just like audition the project without even loading it. So you can see this is another stream that I did. And if I just hold the play button, it's not even loading the project. And then if I choose that I want to load the project, I just press edit and then it's all there. This is the one that I was just working on. But yeah, if I want to switch it up. But yeah, you could totally just cycle through like a bunch of, like these are some beats that I made like when I was like on an airplane. And then if I want to load it up, press edit. Yeah, but yeah, so it's instantaneous basically, and you can, yeah, stream the beat from the SD card by just pressing play on the project. So yeah, super good for like, yeah, live sets and stuff. In fact, I think what it'll do is if you have a project playing and then you load another one, it'll basically queue it up so that it plays next once the other project reaches its final phrase or chain or whatever. Basically when it plays out, it'll switch to the next one. So yeah, it's like pretty cool for yeah, loading different projects on the fly. Okay, where was I there? M8. And yeah, this one. Yeah, here I'll show you. So this is like pretty short. Let me just do one more. So right now it's 8 bars, 4 bars, and then 4 bars. So if I'm playing it, and then I go to load another project, like this one, I'll press edit, and so it said song queued. And then now it switches to the next one. And then I'll do the same thing back to the other one. Oh. Well, it did that one like immediately, because I think it depends on how much you have built out in the song. So if you just do like loops like I do, it'll just switch pretty quickly. But then if you have like a longer arrangement built out, it'll wait until it gets to it and then it'll switch it out. Yeah, man, this thing, I'm telling you, bro, it's pretty nuts. The only thing that's tough, again, is like really just kind of figuring out the step sequencer and like getting comfortable with like really dialing stuff in instead of like tapping out, you know, beats or whatever. Other than that, it's pretty sick. Dang. But yeah, this is where I get kind of stuck with it, is I kind of just create like a simple loop and then, you know, that's that, call it a day. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else to do with this beat. Oh, you know what I could do? I'm going to try and add an open hat. See if I can do that. Okay, here we go. Kind of dig this one, so let's throw it in the mix here. Yeah, I kind of want the open hat to ring out a little bit more. Maybe I'll do a reverse command. My throat there. A reverse command to try and kind of ping pong it a little bit. Let's see if that works. But yeah, Hologram is saying the learning curve on this seems very steep. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like any other sampler. There's definitely a point at the beginning where you're like, what am I doing? Please help. Someone help me. And then you eventually kind of figure it out. And there's a great community too. Like, people will answer your questions if you go on the Discord and stuff. And then there's cool videos too that kind of teach you how to do stuff as well. So yeah, you got to put the reps in for sure. But, you know, like any instrument, you got to practice to make perfect. So yeah, Hologram is asking, was I used to trackers before learning the M8? No, not at all. In fact, my background is more like legacy MPC type stuff. So yeah, I first started making beats on a MPC 4000. Well, actually, before that, I used Fruity Loops, so it was like computer stuff. My first hardware synth or hardware sampler was an MPC 4000, and then I used the MPC 2000 XL a lot as well. This was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And then I used a lot of other weird devices like the 1010 Black Box and Lo-Fi 12 XT and some others. But yeah, the M8, I had never used a tracker before that. Mostly I was familiar with, yeah, 16 pads kind of workflow with sort of the MPC type interface. So yeah, not familiar at all with trackers, but I don't know, you kind of figure your way around it. It is a little hard at the beginning, like I said, but just got to power through it, I think. Oh yeah, the SP404 is good too, for sure. It's very useful, a lot of different utilities. Because yeah, you can kind of use it as like a audio interface, FX box, sampler. You can make beats on it too. So yeah, you get a lot of mileage out of it for sure. Dang, this beat turned out kind of trippy. All right, so that's 2 beats, 1 day. I'm feeling quite accomplished here. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna sign off at this point. But yeah, I appreciate y'all sticking around. Thanks for rocking with me. And yeah, hopefully I'll have another video out shortly and probably be streaming in the coming days. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, hope to catch you on the next one. Until then though, peace.